Hey guys, it's Thursday morning. On my way to work. I'm actually running really late, but they know I was not feeling good this morning. I didn't feel good yesterday either. No telling, there's probably something in the air here in Austin area that's causing me to not feel so good. And I know something's blowing in today. There's a bunch of clouds look like they're blowing into town, so it could be pollen, who knows. And I'm still kind of recovering from our trip. That 2-hour difference doesn't seem like much, but when I normally go to bed around 11 or 11:30 here, and I was trying to do the same there, going to bed before midnight, it ended up being 2 o'clock in the morning. So last night I couldn't go to sleep at all. I didn't end up going to sleep till right around 2, and part of it is just because I felt bad, and the other part was that I wasn't sleepy for some reason. But I ended up finally going to bed, and I didn't get much sleep. I'd either be hot or cold all night, and we didn't run the air conditioner because it was cool, but I'd get too hot and I'd kick all the covers off of me, and 10 minutes later I'd be freezing cold and grabbing for all the covers, and just a miserable night. So I just emailed my boss this morning and told him that I wasn't feeling good this morning and I'd be late. So I'm headed there now. God, it's awful quiet in my car. Just realized that. Not much going on for this weekend. I say that, but then I'm going to have the editing rig up and trying to edit all the San Francisco footage. I ended up pulling all of the footage and pictures off of my wife's iPhone, so I've got multiple sources of stuff. So I'm going to try to get, if I can, like a good microphone to use to do some voiceover stuff, and then I've got to search for some music beds to play over some of this video, because some of it got ruined by that guy yelling into that megaphone about, you know, how the cops were horrible and everybody was going to hell and all that crap. And I don't think I actually recorded him at all during the parade because he was pissing me off. We ended up moving. We had a really good spot and I was getting some really good footage, and we were at a point where some of the groups were stopping to do little things in the street, you know, dances or playing music or whatever, and this guy just kept on and kept on and kept on, and so we ended up moving way further up the street so we couldn't hear him anymore. And what was weird is that we didn't see them out again the rest of the time we were there, which was really weird. But like I said in yesterday's video, we saw this really beautiful blonde woman over there close to where the guy was. That might have been Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night when we were coming back to the hotel, and there's this area where I don't know, it's hard to explain. They've got like an underground part where they buy tickets, I guess, for the train system that runs underneath the ground. Not really a subway system, it's more of a train system. And then it's got a flat area on top where, you know, people congregate. Anyway, my wife was like, that's kind of weird, she's standing out here like basically all by herself. And I was like, yeah, she's waiting for somebody. So you could kind of tell that she was a hooker, but mostly it was just hookers, and then drug dealers, you know, guys flashing signs. And you know, for a nice area, they should have had a cop standing out there the whole time, and all that would have went away. Those guys would have all left, but it is what it is. And they definitely, if you ever worry about your First Amendment rights, go to San Francisco, because they don't really give a crap. They let you say and do pretty much whatever you want. And that was part of the problem that I had with that guy screaming into that megaphone, because he was getting in people's faces. And at that point, you don't have a First Amendment right anymore. Your right just went out the window. It's gone. Once you violate somebody's personal space, you have no rights. And people can argue with me on that, and that's fine, but I can tell you right now, you're 100% wrong, because if somebody's in your face screaming about something that you disagree with, or that you don't want to hear because you're trying to enjoy yourself, let's say you go to a concert and somebody starts screaming in your face about how you're going to hell, and they're using a megaphone and they're putting it basically in your face, you're going to get pissed. I don't care who you are. And so, just as you have a right to say and believe whatever you want, you don't have a right to push your beliefs on someone else, and you don't have the right to get into somebody's face and to cause a confrontation. At that point, you lost your right to free speech. So anyway, other than that, the trip was fine. I guess we're going back. The hotel's supposed to be sending us some kind of voucher to go back, because we booked it through a travel site. Otherwise, we would have gotten all of our money back, basically. The hotel manager said that, you know, we shouldn't have gone through we shouldn't have gone through anything that happened. And I do have to say their security was really good. It was their management at night that wasn't as good. Because the first night they should have just kicked those people out. But like I told my wife, I understood why they wouldn't, because then they're liable for putting a bunch of drunk people out on the street and causing more problems. And I can nearly guarantee you, with the World Baseball Classic being in town and it being St. Patty's Day weekend, they wouldn't have found a hotel room, because our hotel was 100% booked. I think they said Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So not sure where those people would have went. But if I was dating or married to the woman that wouldn't shut her mouth, I would definitely have a problem with her the next day and her drinking, and her days of drinking would be over, or it would be done between us. My wife and I don't act like that. I don't drink. If I have a beer, it's pretty rare. She drinks the occasional glass of wine. You know, in our younger days we used to drink. There's no point in it anymore for us. We're older, and it doesn't do us any good. And these people were just nuts. I mean, people go nuts anyway on holidays, especially St. Patty's Day. But it was just ridiculous how people were acting. And there was even guys out on the street during the parade that were like heckling people, acting like, yeah, you know, we're glad to see you in the parade. And then when the people were passing, they were laughing at them. And it's just because they were drinking and stupid. And I don't know. I think when I stopped drinking, I started having more respect for myself and for other people, versus just being a jerk. So anyway, you'll see a lot of St. Patty's Day footage. I took a ton. I think I have, and it's not all continuous, because I stopped and started and filmed other stuff, because I didn't want to have to film all of it and then go back and edit it. And I can only film 2 hours at a time on this camera, and we literally we were there for over 2 hours, and we left before it was done and went to Chinatown, because we just got tired of waiting. The parade's just too big, you know, cut it down. There would be gaps, you know, of like half a mile between people, and they needed a parade marshals out there making people go. But, you know, kids would perform dances or skits or whatever, and then they would move on. but they need to time those things better so they're only stopping for a minute or two and then moving on as quick as they can. Literally, there'd be these huge gaps, and then some of these gaps would be filled by just people walking in the parade, because anybody can be in the parade. I mean, everybody watching the parade could have got in the parade, and a lot of them did at the end and followed the parade over to the convention center. So one thing that we did go do was Alcatraz, and here's my piece of Alcatraz. I actually bought a piece, and that was probably my favorite thing to do, even though the boat ride at first I wasn't doing too good because of the vertigo. Well, once we started getting closer to the island and I could see that it was staying still and it was the boat moving, then it kind of cancels things out with my vertigo, and that happens with a lot of people. They don't have a severe case of vertigo. I have just vertigo, and I know there's people that even the slightest bump, even car rides, make them sick. And sometimes I do get motion sickness in the car when I'm not driving, because when I'm driving I'm paying attention and I can see that the roadway's not moving, it's just the car. And so once I got over that, I was fine. What was funny is this lady asked if I was okay. I asked my wife if I was okay, and she goes, yeah, he has vertigo, and boats are really bad for him, boats and bridges and planes and things like that. And she goes, yeah, I have the same problem. She goes, I got some Xanax if you want some. So total strangers offer me Xanax to calm down on this boat, and I didn't, of course I didn't take it, and I wasn't going to, because I wanted to make sure that I took a lot of video and got to see everything at Alcatraz, and I have a lot of Alcatraz video too. So some of this I'll be editing down to single things. Some places I just didn't get video. Chinatown's probably one of them. I don't think I got anything in Japantown, which sounds weird for me to say. That's our second favorite thing, was Japantown, and I feel like it should be called something else, but it's not. It's Japantown. It just sounds weird. But I love Japantown. That was our second favorite, and I do have to say my third favorite was even though we didn't get to stay for very long, we got there with them closing in like 40 minutes, was the California Academy of Sciences. I loved that place. It was so cool. Their rainforest is basically in a big glass bubble that you walk up, and of course I got up there and it's 3 stories, and I got up on that 3rd story and it's a bridge, and I started to have it, when people walking on it and it moving a little bit, and vertigo kicks in a little bit, so I was kind of glad to get off of there. But it was cool because we were looking at these big fish that were swimming in this pond at the bottom of the rainforest. Well, when you get done, you go on the elevator, you go all the way down, it's actually an aquarium under the whole thing. It's crazy, but it was so much fun. And we want to go back and just explore that park. There's so many things to do in Golden Gate Park, which is nowhere near the Golden Gate Bridge. It's actually a few miles away, just kind of funny. And the park that's next to Golden Gate Bridge is called the Presidio, so who knows. And I'd love to go back to Golden Gate Bridge area and go explore some more stuff around there, and I just don't want to get on the bridge again. I think once in my lifetime's enough, but I think next time we may take a bus tour over. There's a bus that'll take you to Sausalito where you can spend half a day or whatever, and then you just take a ferry back to Fisherman's Wharf, and we may do that. That sounded like fun, so that may be something that we do in the future. So anyway, other than editing this weekend, I don't think I have anything else going on. I'm too tired to do anything else at this point. I still have to work on the chicken coop at some point in time, which I may try to do this weekend if I feel up to it. Mostly I'm going to try to rest so since my wife normally stays up a little later than I do, I'm gonna have her take the dogs out Friday night before she goes to bed, and then hopefully they'll sleep in Saturday morning. They normally don't. They normally wake up Dad first thing, you know, anywhere from 7:30 to 8:30. They're jumping on me or slapping me or staring me in the face or whatever, licking me, trying to get me to wake up to take them outside. So I have to deal with that. And we bought our little one, Lily, we bought her a little Chinese dress, silk dress, at the store in Chinatown. So if you guys hit up my Twitter, you'll see I posted that picture last night, and it's really cute. And she loved it. When I actually walked in the room with it and had it still in the package, she come running over there and started digging on the package. She knew what it was. She knew it was a dress. She knew it was for her, and she could not wait to get it on. She was freaking out. And so I got it out of the package and got it on her, but the neck part velcroed and she wouldn't be still long enough, so I had to hold her, and my wife had to velcro that other part because she was just so excited that her dad got her a dress. And the other dogs didn't seem to care. My wife's like, oh, they're gonna be jealous, and they didn't care. We gave her a treat so we could take pictures, so she'd be still, and we gave the other dogs a treat, and they smelled the dress and then they walked off. They didn't care. And so we got her a dress, and I got pajamas while I was there in Chinatown. We just have to wash them. They kind of stink. I mean, I don't say that to be mean. They came from China and they were packed in whatever when they were shipped, and they just have this weird, I don't know, smell to them that I can't figure out what it is, but I can't wear them until we get that smell off of them. So I think my wife's going to try to figure out how to wash them today. And I don't think they're silk. She thinks they're silk, but I think they're too heavy. I think they're just rayon and polyester, but they're pretty cool. They're like a deeper red color, nearly like the color of my Prius. And then they have black dragons on them. So anyway, enough of my rambling, guys. I'm not even anywhere near close to work yet. I'm already wore off for the day. So hopefully I got a tiger eye bracelet, first bracelet I've ever owned. So hopefully it gives me some energy. That's what it's supposed to do. But anyway, you guys have a great Thursday. Look for a bunch of videos this weekend. A lot of my time is going to be spending filming stuff. I owe you guys a couple of stories, jack holes of the week, and then of course I have my weekend vlogs. If the weather's good, I'll do a bike vlog. If not, like I said, if the wind's blowing really hard, there's no point in doing one. It kind of defeats the purpose of actually doing one when you can't hear a word I'm saying. So hopefully I'll get a bike vlog in this weekend if it's not raining and it's nice outside and everything's fine. And then I'm gonna edit some footage. So I have like aquarium footage, and I have Alcatraz footage and St. Patty's Day footage, and there may be a little bit more here and there. There may be one video that's just bits and pieces of stuff that we filmed at like filmed in like Chinatown, like pictures and stuff, and just little short videos that we filmed. So those may go all into one, and then the bigger ones like Alcatraz and all that in the aquarium will all go into its own. So anyway, that's all I got for today. You guys have a great Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow.